Hello boys and girls, welcome to my channel, I'm ForClassic and welcome to BenchART. Today we have in here Black Mesa Definitive Edition, a game developed by Crowbar Collective, and it is using the mythical Source Engine, the engine behind Half-Life, CSGO, and you know Dota 2. No, Dota 2 uses a new engine, it is Source 2.0, it's not the same Source Engine, alright? So it's the same engine behind CSGO and Half-Life 2, alright? And today I'm here to try out the game. This game was released some time ago and I did try out the game when it was released, but now we have in here the Definitive Edition, which is the edition which includes finally all the levels and everything. It is just revamped and polished. Alright, so for the settings I will be using 720p and I will be using the potato preset. So this is the lowest preset you can go for, but it isn't really the minimum settings you can go in this game, so you can go even below the potato, but I still think that the potato it is quite nice. So looking to the minimum requirements, these guys ask for a 2.6 dual core CPU, so oh no, we are already below the minimums in here. They also ask for a 6 GB of RAM as minimum and a 2 GB dedicated video card. They don't really specify which card they are talking about, but making up the test using the potato setting at 720p, I did caught an average of 46 frames per second, and unfortunately there was a moment there where the game did drop below 30 frames per second. So yeah, I mean, for a Source game we should be able to get easily 60 frames per second, but Black Mesa it is kind of demanding at all, and well, not getting 30 frames per second in this level at some points it is a little bit bad, alright, but it is perfectly playable nonetheless. And the good thing about this is that this level, the surface tension, it is one of the most, if not the most demanding level of the game. I mean, Chen levels are also very demanding, but this one, this is another level. It is way more demanding than Chen levels, and comparing to the regular levels, the first levels, or any level in closed environments, the game will just run at the double frame rate. So for example, now I'm having in here 40 to 30 frames per second in this exact moment. In any other level aside from Chen levels, you will be getting like 70 frames per second or even 60 or 80. So the majority of the game, it will be playable at an awesome frame rate. It's just these outside levels that are way too demanding. And also, yes, Chen it is demanding, but I don't think that Chen it is as demanding as these outside levels, alright? But above all, the good news is that it's 2020 and the GT 740M or a simple GT 920M can still deliver, and you are still able to play Black Mesa, and this is good. And I think what really complains us it is to think that it is 2020 and we are still playing games using Source Engine, the first version, and still we are struggling to run it. Well, that's the disappointing part, but the good part, and the way I like to see it, is that it is 2020 and we are playing a new game in it, and it's running at 720p, which is something that we can't do in all the games. And despite we are running with potato preset, it is perfectly playable, and the graphics, it isn't really that bad, alright? So that's the way that I like to think. So now that I've talked a little bit about the performance, let's talk now a little bit more about the game. So what did change on this Definitive Edition? To be honest with you, I was expecting more differences in performance. Like, it is pretty much identical. So they massively polished the game and made some art updates throughout the levels. They changed the lighting of the power-up level, for example, and they also redesigned the on-the-rail level. They mentioned that they optimized the game better for low and mid-range PCs, and they changed a little bit the art and color palette of the outside levels. So I think that's after the Chen levels, where they actually made very pretty good levels. The Chen levels reimagination was excellent. I think they learned a couple of tricks and they used their new discovered tricks that they actually learned from there to apply some art differences and some optimizations on the predecessor levels that they have been developing throughout these 15 years. So the way that I see the Definitive Edition, I see this as a big shout from the developer team, like, guys, we have been in here for 15 years making this, now it's fully ready, all the levels are available, so it's completely finished, and it is bug-free, mostly, and you can safely now buy the game. Well, there is still some non-issues, but those are still some minor bugs that should get fixed in no time by the developer team. So in case you never knew what the hell is Black Mesa, it is a remake done by a group of people called the Crowbar Collective that started to remake the Half-Life game like 15 years ago, when Source Engine was really a big deal at the time. Their objective was to create Half-Life 1 and envision the game as a Source Engine game with the awesome evoke physics and innovation that made Half-Life 2 special. Although 15 years have passed and possibly the impact that now Black Mesa have, it is not the same as it would be if Black Mesa was released back then, but still it is somewhat amazing. So they started as a mode, but after some years Valve recognized the mode and gave them the seal of approval to sell their game on Steam as an early access title and monetize the game, despite they were using Valve assets and Valve engine. So yeah, they were picking up the first game, and they were building all the stuff using Half-Life 2 assets and stuff like that, and Valve just reached them and said, it's okay guys, you can develop the game because we are not going to do it, so you can do it and you can make the money for yourselves. Of course, possibly a small cut or probably even a beefy cut was given to Valve, of course, because of that, but still, as far as I know, the Crowbar Collective was able to make money out of this mode, and this is something really special, if you ask me. I think I've never saw this to happen before. Enlighten me if there was stuff like this, like people making a mode and and after that selling the mode with a seal of approval of the own developer. I don't really know, because they are just rebuilding an entire game that was sold by Valve, so it's weird. So yeah, still, so Crowbar Collective continued to develop their love letter over the years, and now we have this great game, which is one of the best rated games by the community on Steam, and it's actually a very cheap game, especially when it is on sale. So it's winter sale, guys, or autumn sale, so get the game. So seriously, it's a mandatory game that you should get, especially if you loved Half-Life 2 and you never wanted to play the first one because it was too damn dated, because it is an old game. And even if you had completed the original, this one it is still mandatory, because it's not a remaster, it is a remake. So puzzles are sometimes different because they take advantage of Source technology to make things more interesting. So using physics-based puzzle solving, it is something that it is now required on Black Mesa to complete. And that was something that wasn't really possible in Half-Life 1, because there were barely any physics integration on the games, because yeah, that was because it was very old and Gold Source didn't really support stuff like AVOC, of course. So I think that's all, guys, so that I want to talk about Black Mesa Definitive Edition. I hope you actually did understood what the hell did change. Hope you keep enjoying the rest of the video, and I do hope to see you soon. Goodbye.
Power 50%. Power 65%. 50%. Power 65%. 20%.